Okay, so what is psychology really like?
Difficult.
Difficult?
It's interesting, but it's a lot of work.
You'll learn a lot from it that you didn't think you'd know about psychology as a subject beforehand, definitely.
And it's like potentially a lot more sciencey than you think as well. There's a lot of like science in it.
There's a lot of information you've got to know.
A lot of case studies.
It's quite like fast paced, so you've got to keep up because it's like it moves really fast. All the case studies.
How much time do you think you should spend each week actually working on the subject in order to do yourself justice?
What they're revising.
Revising, going back over your notes?
I think you should match what you're doing in class.
So you spend about 4.5 hours in class and
It
you
depends
think,
how far
Yeah.
before the exam really, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Like if it's really close to the exam, like you should be doing it as much as
If
possible.
you go back over the case studies like every time you learn it, then like, you're more likely to remember it.
You
Yeah,
definitely
like,
should revise as you go along.
Yeah, as you go along,
Revise as you
definitely. That's definitely a good point because you have a lot to learn. If you don't do it as you go along, you have a lot to learn and you'll cram and you probably won't really know like what you've actually learned or remember it very well for your exam, and you won't feel very prepared.
as a teacher, I always say that you need to put a lot of work in when you start the course. Quite a lot of students don't believe me. Am I actually telling the truth when I say that?
Definitely. You'll get a shock in your first exam when you realise you didn't really put the work in from then, especially because you won't get like a January exam, so you'll have to remember all of that.
Definitely, yeah.
So it's definitely to put the effort in then is definitely worth it.
But is it worth studying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a respected course as well, and if you get an A in psychology, it looks good.
Okay. What advice would you give a student just starting psychology?
Not to leave it to the last minute. That's what I did. I think left it and thought it'd be alright.
Okay.
Yeah, just to go like revise as you go along, just keep on going over the case studies.
And not think it's going to be easy, like it's going to be hard.
Yeah.
It's a step
But
up
it's
from
what
GCSE no matter
yeah,
what.
but it's
a
definitely
big
worth
step.
And turn up to every lesson, because if you miss one lesson, you miss a lot.
A lot,
So,
yeah.
Okay. Any final last advice you'd like to give them?
When you're revising, to try and do like practice writing out your answers, because you won't realise the time constraint on an exam. You have a lot to write down, and it's good to practice that. That's what I felt was really a good thing to do.
And don't be put off by the workload, stick at it, and carry on with your AS.
Yeah.